Folks, there is no doubt about it. Almost everyone wants to get rich and get rich quick, but can it be done?
The News 4 problem solvers went undercover and found most of the time you'll just end up in get-rich quicksand.
Here's John Dutzman with some wiggly, gross, sickening friends.
Yeah, this one is about worms, believe it or not. Guys, Annie, you okay?
I'm all right.
Can you handle it? All right. Yeah, it's all about worms, but the good news is we get to warn people before this thing gets too big, before you get sucked into this deal, hook, line, and sinker. Can these slimy, dirty creatures make you filthy rich?
100% for real.
For real? Can you possibly make $1,000 a day growing earthworms? This internet ad says you can, and these local newspaper ads say you can too. The man behind these glorious claims calls himself the Earthworm King. Watch out, he wants to sell you worms to help save the earth. But what we found out might save you big bucks.
My annual earthworm bath is just about to start.
His name is High Hunter. He says he loves worms so much that he takes a bath with them.
Yeah.
Problem is, you might take a bath too. A financial bath like this woman. She's one of more than a dozen people we spoke to who say they've lost thousands of dollars.
He scammed me. He may not have gotten every penny that I own, but he got enough of it and got me hooked into this to the point that I can't back out now.
What the Earthworm King really wants is your money.
Because God loves us and wants us to prosper, we're going to make a lot of money.
And now his California-based business has slithered into South Florida, where the Worm King is making big promises that you'll get rich. Here's how it's supposed to work. You give High Hunter at least $1,000 for a bunch of worms. You bring the worms home, and with proper care, they're supposed to multiply. Then he says he'll buy the worms back from you. Why? You're told he desperately needs them. For what? To eat all the garbage in landfills. But guess what? News 4 learned that High Hunter does not have one single contract to supply any landfill in this country with worms.
You guys are supposed to be having lots of eggs and babies.
Victims tell us they were deceived, that the worms don't multiply fast enough, and that when it comes time to buy back the worms, High Hunter rarely pays the price they expected. So when the News 4 problem solvers saw these ads in the Miami Herald and the Sun Sentinel, we went to work to bust the scam before it busts you. Watch what happens when we went undercover. One of High Hunter's local worm salesmen tells us we'd make $1,000 a day.
Seriously, $1,000 a day, right? 365,000 a year doing this.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no bull there.
There's no bull.
Wait a minute. Take a look at this contract obtained by News 4. High Hunter's company doesn't promise $1,000 a day. In fact, he doesn't guarantee you'll make a dime. And we even asked a legitimate Florida worm farmer if you can make $1,000 a day.
That I don't know how in the world anybody is going to make $1,000 a day.
No matter what?
No matter what.
So this is not a scam?
Absolutely not.
Perfectly legitimate business?
Absolutely 100%.
Really? Well, 20 years ago, authorities in California ordered High Hunter to stop his money-making claims about the worm business.
Can you tell me why what you're doing now is any different from that?
That was one of my growers in San Francisco, and we had nothing to do with it.
But High Hunter's name is all over this document that says he must stop making misleading claims. He even signed it.
I never did anything illegal.
He has stolen not just money, but my life.
Right now, this warning. Jumping into the worm business with High Hunter could leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yummy, huh? Now, as a result of our investigation, the Worm King has a few problems on his hands, not the least of which that he's not even registered to run this business in Florida. And authorities here and all over the country are now taking a close look at the Worm King's business. Tell you what, worms, they're kind of cool. I mean, they do eat garbage and they do have nice nice worm manure. There's money in worm manure, but there's really no money in this little buyback deal.
Well, that's great. You just take those with you since they're such a nice deal, as you say.